Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, back to do a response to Lisa Love's Top 10 Male Fronted Bands. I'm still working on the female fronted bands. I seem to be having a bit of a problem with that one. Um, I kind of only wanted to do bands that I had something from, so I'm going to have to research it a little bit more. Um, so, but I am going to do the male fronted bands now, and first, I wanted to give some honorable mentions. First honorable mention is a band that I really enjoy. They almost made the list. They were actually on the list for a while, but they got booted by some better bands. And they haven't really put in their dues yet. I mean, they've only had 2 albums, I believe, and maybe an EP. But I listened to this album so many times, it's unreal. But this is the 1975. My wife and I both like them. I think I like them a little bit more, and she introduced me to them. But yeah, incredible band. Love the writing. It's definitely not for everyone. It's kind of how do I explain it? Kind of like 80s dance music, sort of. But their accents are very, very thick, and it's a little hard to understand them. But I don't really have a problem. I have the lyrics on the inside, so. But yeah, first honorable mention, the 1975. And of course, Rush. Um, Geddy Lee doesn't have the best voice, but I love Rush. I always have. Um, they go back so far with me to when I was in elementary school, and yeah, they're just one of my favorite bands of all time. And they got booted, so yeah, there's some really good bands on my top 10, but I do love Rush. So that's the second honorable mention. Now, coming in at number 10, Badlands. Now, the front man is named Ray Gillian. Unfortunately, he passed in 1991 from AIDS, HIV. But I tell you, this is one of my favorite bands of all time. It has probably one of my favorite guitar players of all time, Jakey Lee, who was involved in Rough Cut, um, the original lineup of Rat. Of course, he played with Ozzy on Bark the Moon and The Ultimate Sin. And he plays with the Red Dragon. Red Dragon. For some reason, I'm blanking on the name. Cartel. Red Dragon Cartel, I think it is. But anyway, he's just a fantastic guitar player, and a lot of fond memories of this album and also Voodoo Highway. So I could go into all kinds of details about this band, but we'll end up with probably a 15, 20, 25, 30-minute video, so I won't do that to you guys. Coming in at number 9 is Silverchair. Now, the lead singer in this one is, I believe his name is Daniel Johns. This is actually my car copy. I have a house copy, which is mine, and a car copy, which I leave in the car because it's not really good to leave CDs in the car. But this one has been burnt to hell. It had scratches, has scratches, some of the songs skip. So that's why I kind of keep this one in the car, and I have a brand new copy that I keep in the house. But this is my favorite album from them, Diorama, and they were a great band. So yeah, coming in at number 8, Lisa, you'll love this one, is Rainbow with Joe Lynn Turner. That was my favorite part of Rainbow. Nothing against Ronnie James Dio or Graham Bonnet. But I don't know. Joe Lynn Turner he has such a soulful voice, and a buddy of mine got me into him when I graduated high school, and at the time he was playing with Yngwie Malmsteen. He was singing for Yngwie Malmsteen, but that was short-lived, unfortunately. But Rainbow, I can't tell you how many different songs we played by them in the bands that I was in. We played Power and Can't Happen Here and Mistreater, Stone Cold, Death Alley Driver, you name it. So, yeah. The next is kind of a cheat. I did not want to leave him off the list, but it is his name, so you guys should be able to figure this one out. Is Dio, of course. He wasn't my favorite in Rainbow. He wasn't my favorite in Black Sabbath, but damn it, he's my favorite in his own band. He's just one of my all-time favorite singers. He's always had big shoes to fill, and he's more than outdone himself. And this is actually one of my favorite albums, Lock Up the Wolves. Yeah, this is when he had Rowan Robertson. He was in, I think was he an Irishman? But good guitar player. Didn't last long with him. I think my favorite's still Vivian Campbell. And, I like Craig Goldie as well, but, yeah. Dio, incredible writer, incredible singer, just incredible. I better get moving. I am actually, Lisa puts it, I'm waffling, so. But yeah, okay. I don't even know which one I'm at now. 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, number 6 is Ozzy from Black Sabbath. One of my favorite bands of all time. So many iconic songs. This is actually not my favorite Ozzy album. My favorite is the original, but this was the one I could get to the easiest. So, so I pulled it out and showed it to you guys. Yeah, Electric Funeral, Black Sabbath, NIB, The Wizard. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And also his solo stuff, up to a certain point. I'm not a big fan of the new stuff, but or the later stuff, but Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz and The Ultimate Sin, Bark at the Moon. All those are great albums. Great albums. So, but yeah, that's Ozzy coming in at number, I believe it was 6 we're at now. Coming in at number, let's see, yeah, 5 is Kiss. Definitely not the greatest singers in the world, although I do like Paul Stanley's voice. But I love Kiss ever since I was a little kid. I actually have the Gene Simmons solo album upstairs that have trace marks around his head because I used to put paper up to it and trace his head all the time. Of course, I got that when it first came out, way back in the day. And I've always loved Kiss. Played so many of their songs in the bands that I've been in. Black Diamond, Christine 16, you name it. Kind of blanking. I Want You, all those kind of songs. But yeah. Kiss is an extraordinary band. This is actually a great album by them. And it was when Ace and Gene came back. I mean, Ace and Peter Criss came back, officially kicking off their tour, where they put the makeup back on for the first tour. I actually got to see that tour, so I fulfilled a bucket list that year and went with my mom's boyfriend at the time, and got to see the original lineup in makeup, and boy was it incredible. Incredible. I've also seen them a few times without makeup. I got to see the late Eric Carr, who was a great drummer, and yeah, just a great band. A lot of memories from my childhood. Kiss Meets the Phantom, I remember that. I saw that. I have the DVD downstairs. It's just a goofy, fun time. Okay, coming in at number 4 is Geoff Tate from Queensryche. Queensryche and Savatage were probably my 2 favorite bands in high school. Savatage didn't really have the lead singer. I liked the songs that they sang, and I don't know, the writing style was cool. Kind of with the whole Dio sort of thing, and you know, just the stuff that I liked. But Queensryche, unreal. I'm pretty sure I have everything with Geoff Tate on CD. But Operation Mindcrime, I burnt this up, no doubt. And I'm kind of giving away some of my. I'm going to be doing that horror metal tag, and kind of giving away some of my answers here. But yeah. But that is number 3, or number 4 rather, Queensryche, Geoff Tate. Coming in at number 3 is the Eagles. I can listen to the Eagles anytime, anywhere, any day. Their songs are great. They're iconic. So sad we lost Glenn Frey. Never be the same again. But my favorite song from them, and there's a reason why I pulled out this album, is Wasted Time. Just a beautiful song, beautifully written. And Eagles, I can't say enough good things about them. So many memories in my life have to do with the Eagles. Listening to them back and forth, so many times. Greatest hits albums, live albums, you know, you name it, just awesome. Yeah. Coming in at number 20, or yeah, 22. Yeah, that makes sense. Coming in at number 2 is Queen. Yeah, Queen. One of my very first bands that I really fell in love with, along with Kiss. I remember seeing News of the World, that album. That album used to scare me when I was a kid, looking at the inside cover. So brutal. But I love their music. I've always loved their music, and this is my favorite album by them, believe it or not. Of course, this has the, you know, some of their soundtrack stuff on it. The one from Iron Eagle, Never Say Die, I think, or can't remember what song it was, but, and I cannot read this, but also Highlander. It has my favorite song by Queen. I almost pulled up Innuendo, because that's one of my favorites too, and unfortunately that has some bad memories, because that, you know, was right around when he died, when I got that CD. Yeah, but this one, Who Wants to Live Forever, my favorite song by them. Such a haunting ballad, and yeah, rest in peace, Freddie Mercury. Yeah. Which brings me to number 1, and one of my favorite singers of all time, one of my favorite bands of all time, and they just released an album, which I have not gotten yet, but I probably will. It's a live album, but unfortunately we just lost the drummer, Pat Torfey, but it's Mr. Big. Talk about a supergroup. I have a long history with this band. To me, it was a supergroup. Some people didn't know who some of the people were in it, but being a guitar player, of course, I knew who Paul Gilbert was. I had his Racer X albums, Street Lethal and Second Heat, and I believe they made the third one was a live album, and now I can't remember what it's called. I'm blanking for some reason. But it has Billy Sheehan, one of the best bass players of all time, from David Lee Roth fame, and you know, he's just an incredible bass player. Pat Torfey was the only one I had never really heard of before that. Unfortunately, he passed. But the lead singer is, like I said, one of my favorites of all time. It's Eric Martin. And I actually knew of him before Mr. Big. When I was younger, I used to collect tapes, and I used to buy a lot of soundtracks. And 2 of the soundtracks that he was on, I remember specifically, was Teachers and Iron Eagle. And that's how I knew who he was, and I've loved his voice, and I thought he fit perfectly with this band. Now, after Paul Gilbert left, after I think it was Hey Man, he left after that one. You know, they were okay. Not so much, and I'm blanking on the guy's name now, of course, that filled in for him. But he's a good guitar player, but he's not Paul Gilbert. And it just didn't seem to have the charisma that the band once had. But they are all back together now, or they were, until Pat Torfey died. And they just sound incredible. And this is a great album by them. It's hard to pick a favorite with this one. It would be like picking my favorite child. But yeah, this is definitely number one for me. One of my favorite singers of all time is Eric Martin. And that's it. I would love to know what you guys think. Of course, this video lasted a lot longer than I thought it was going to. But you get me talking about music, and I'll probably be here all day. But yeah. If you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.